Well, here we go.
I've been beating up big dudes all my
Cause they underestimate your bud.
It's just, even if they didn't, I'm gonna beat you up. You know, I can fight.
Right.
You know, so if you watch, like, all these dudes bigger than, you know, like, I don't care.
After shocking news came out from Club Shay Shay, where Terence Crawford sat next to Shannon Sharp and quietly agreed to the huge payment that was going to be made for what could be the biggest fight in modern boxing history.
But I'm gonna find a way to win, no matter what.
In September, are you gonna pull this? I shook up the world. I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you.
Definitely. That's definitely gonna be it.
Sharp says that Canelo Alvarez has been promised a record-breaking $150 million, and Crawford has been offered $100 million. The fight is set to happen in Las Vegas on April 20th or 25th. Crawford's silence told us a lot. There were no denials or corrections. The facts were proven live on air. This puts Canelo at the top of the sports money ladder, even higher than Floyd Mayweather's record-setting $100 million promises for fights with Pacquiao and McGregor. These are the biggest disclosed fight purses in boxing history, excluding back-end pay-per-view money and endorsements, making this fight a guaranteed financial juggernaut before a single punch is thrown.
I mean, one of the moments, you know. I need the doubters to fuel me. What you think he'll do if he go up 2 more weight classes? I need that, you know, because that's gonna make me more focused and turn into a different animal. So I need the people to say, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or
This $250 million guarantee payoff is being coordinated by Saudi Arabia's Turki Al-Sheikh, chairman of the General Entertainment Authority and quickly emerging as boxing's most important power broker. His participation in the sport has already changed the way money is made in the sport around the world by paying for big fights like Fury vs. Usyk and Joshua vs. Ngannou. There is a message behind Turkey's decision to spend a lot of money on the Canelo Davis fight.
Are we going to see Terence Crawford versus Canelo?
As I tell before to the ESPN, I give him the offer. If he's smart, he will accept it.
He told Gervonta Davis straight out earlier this year that Crawford was getting paid more for 2 fights than Davis had ever made in his whole career. That statement, earlier dismissed as bravado, is now clearly supported by numbers. Also, this fight is expected to make more than $750 million after global TV rights, sponsorships, and pay-per-view sales are taken into account. It may eventually earn as much as the sport's all-time top earners. For context, Mayweather-Pacquiao earned nearly $600 million in total revenue. This fight is not only on track to match, but maybe surpass it, marking a sea change in how top-tier boxing events are sponsored and consumed.
Bud Crawford, just won his debut at 154. Said if the money's right, we'll fight. Everybody wants that fight. What do you feel about that matchup? People saying the weight, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
You know, everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And you know, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. No, 2, 3 weights class less than me. But if the money is right, why not?
Until recently, Canelo Alvarez expressed little interest in fighting Terence Crawford. The undisputed Mexican superstar had regularly mocked Crawford's stature and resume, claiming the bout made no sense competitively or financially. But when Turki Al-Sheikh gave him the highest guaranteed purse in the sport's history, Canelo's tone changed dramatically. The $150 million offer, which is $50 million more than any fighter has ever made upfront, became too much to refuse. According to sources familiar with the talks, this bout is only the first installment of a lucrative 4-fight contract Canelo has signed with Turkey Camp, which aligns the future of boxing's biggest star with Saudi Arabia's fast-developing sports entertainment empire.
Right? Why not? But look, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga. I know I have a challenge in front. I never overlook any fighter. So I'm focused 100% in this, and then we we'll see.
Nell's turn not only shows Alalshik's enormous financial power, but it also demonstrates that sheer wealth can bulldoze the usual barriers prohibiting super fights, networks, and promoter politics. With money clearly not an issue for Alalshik, attention has inevitably gone to Canelo's refusal to face certain opponents, especially David Benavidez.
You don't think that's the one of the biggest fights that can be made?
Maybe. Who knows? He bring nothing to the table for me. If some promoter, they come and say, I offer to you 150 to 200 million, I fight tomorrow.
Critics say that if $150 million could guarantee the Crawford fight, a similar amount should be enough to make Canelo versus Benavidez a reality. However, that fight remains elusive. Benavidez, an undefeated former champion with a dangerous reputation, has long been seen as a genuine challenge to Canelo's legacy. Some fans and observers think Alvarez's reluctance stems from risk management rather than business concerns. Rumors abound that Canelo may be pricing himself out of the Benavidez fight, utilizing exaggerated demands to avoid what many regard as his most dangerous opponent. While there is no clear proof that Canelo has requested $1 billion to fight Benavidez, the exaggeration reinforces the growing impression that intentional avoidance is at work. Optics are important.
I always say if the fight make sense, why not? But he's not in the plan.
He's not in the plan? No. Okay. Is there a specific reason for it? Is it because of his size, or it won't do anything for you in terms of pushing you toward your goals?
You know, like I say, it makes sense maybe. I don't know right now. I just gonna enjoy this fight, and please let me enjoy this.
Crawford not only earned his shot by dominating for weight divisions, but he has also hit the peak of financial success in the sport. However, his attitude has not changed. Crawford, known for his workmanlike attitude and unwavering discipline, has stated clearly that money has not dulled his edge. "Silk pajamas don't soften my grind," he stated, responding to comparisons to legends who lost drive after large paydays. Crawford, now 36, has yet to lose a fight. However, he is also venturing into unfamiliar ground physically, going up to a weight class where his speed and timing will be tested against naturally larger, harder-hitting opponents.
I just want to know what number makes sense for you. What's fair?
I got $10 million for that fight.
That's a lie.
How you know that's a lie?
To fight Canelo?
Yeah.
That's a lie.
I'm doing it for the opportunity, baby.
Yeah, that's
The
good.
legacy.
Beyond the astonishing financials, this is a fight for recognition. It's the kind of moment that will be remembered in highlight reels, documentaries, and barbershop discussions for years. For Canelo, a win is more than just another crown. It would silence those who questioned his unwillingness to fight more dangerous opponents like David Benavidez, reaffirming his standing among the sport's most daring elite. Beating an unbeaten younger opponent notorious for outwitting everyone he meets would elevate his legacy to all-time great status. Crawford sees an equally big potential, already the first man boxer to become the undisputed champion into weight classes during the Ford Belt era. A win over Canelo at super middleweight would send him to record heights. It would position him as one of the most versatile boxing champions in history.
That's good.
Yeah.
You believe that?
Yeah, 100%. If he said 10 million, it's 10 million.
The legacy outweighed the money.
That's true. I respect that.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
3-time undisputed. Ooh, coming soon.
In terms of multi-division ability, he may be compared to giants such as Leonard and Henry Armstrong. However, genius brings pressure, and failure in this case costs more than simply belts. It also costs narrative control. This fight will change how both men's legacies are remembered. For all the zeros in their bank accounts, a single setback on this stage can last longer than a dozen wins. These boxes are punching not only for glory, but also to affect history. With both combatants certain to get historic paydays, the sports world's attention is going to Las Vegas, where the event is planned to take place in 2025, most likely at Allegiant Stadium, a site capable of hosting such a spectacle. Unlike typical super fights, which are frequently hampered by promoter politics or broadcaster rivalry, this fight has overcome those hurdles. Thanks in part to the influence of Saudi Arabia's Turki Alalshik and the financial flexibility his involvement has brought. The global buzz is obvious. pay-per-view rights are likely to spark intense bidding wars between major streaming platforms and cable providers. While international broadcast rights in Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America are expected to promote unprecedented global participation, Las Vegas, already renowned as the world's fight capital, could have its most profitable night in combat sports history. The economic ripple effect is estimated to bring hundreds of millions of dollars into the local economy. Sponsors range from hotels and restaurants to luxury transportation and tourist brands, and promotional efforts are expected to include immersive fan experiences, behind-the-scenes documentaries, and interactive digital campaigns that appeal to both die-hard boxing fans and casual sports audiences. This is more than simply a match. It's a full-fledged entertainment spectacle intended for maximum worldwide consumption.
How many of y'all think Terence Crawford should bulk up? Bulking up, you're gonna lose speed. Yeah, but you can hit a lot harder. Definitely fighting out your comfort zone. You can always come in the smaller, faster fight. Remember, it's a point game. You don't have to knock nobody out. So you saying he gonna dance off?
They accept. We want to see this fight, and I want to see Shakur Zubaydah.
Shakur Stevenson is here as well.
He accepts. De La Hoya accept. Eddie accept. Let's do it.
Canelo vs. Crawford is more than just a super fight. It's a strong sign of boxing's future. The engagement of sovereign wealth open pocket supporters, like as Turki Alalshik, as well as independent deal-making, suggests a paradigm shift. Elite matches are no longer based on feuds between promoters or networks. If nine-figure purses can be given outside of the traditional US boxing system, and boxers can avoid years of political wrangling to win major bouts, the sport's entire power structure may shift. This bout will put that theory to the test in real time. The effects are huge. If Canelo and Crawford can be pulled together with this degree of drive, who will be next? Will we watch Spence vs. Boots Ennis, Fury vs. Joshua 2, or the long-awaited Benavidez clash without years of expectation and disappointment? The usual excuse, "the money's not right," may no longer be valid in this new century. Now that we know the money can be right, the onus is on combatants, not only promoters, to show that they sincerely desire excellence. Every top rival will have to question themselves, what's stopping me? Canelo vs. Crawford is more than simply a fight. It's a $250 million statement, a clash of heritage, leverage, and worldwide power. When the bell rings in Las Vegas, it will show who still fights like they're broke despite having cashed the largest checks in boxing history. Alright, folks, for the latest boxing news, moments, events, and deeds, subscribe to Knockout Updates and enable notifications to never miss out on great material. Also, check out our other movies. Until next time, peace.